Guys, just wanted to record this quick video. Okay, we're back in the office. Mainly going over like the topic I said then off the top of my head. As I was doing some work, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna record this video. Just about comparing yourself to other people, okay? This is something I had when I started my business 2 years ago. I was 18 years old. It's trying to compare yourself to other people. So for example, these guys are making X amount per month, I make this, I'm a failure. Now, I'm gonna tell you why this is very, very dangerous, okay? Because, let me just put this fold down here. Why it is very, very dangerous is because if you start comparing yourself to other people, you are gonna start to think that you are a failure, okay? And you're gonna start to think that like you're in a bad position, or like, this business model doesn't work, or it's too saturated, or I need to find a new niche, whatever type of business you're doing, whatever it is. That comparison to other people, like you want to avoid it because you're going to start to attach your identity towards outcomes. So for example, if I don't make 100K a month like this person, I am a failure, okay? Now, that's very, very dangerous because when you start to attach yourself to outcomes, if you attach yourself towards an outcome, you're going to feel like a failure when you're progressing in business, okay? The one thing you want to do is like detach your emotions from where you are, okay? If you know you're going to hit 100K a month, 200K a month, $1 million a month, don't worry about the time frame, okay? You're going to get there. If you work every day, 12 hours a day for the next 5 to 10 years, you're going to get there, okay? You need to make sure that you don't attach yourself to this goal because you sort of put yourself on a pedestal where you like say, I have to get to this, I have to get to this. And the more you try to like push towards it, it's like attract away. So don't attach yourself to goals. And I've got so many stories of this where I saw like a mate of mine who had a company and he's growing very, very fast. And then, you're like, fuck, you sort of like, it sort of impacts you a bit. You're like, fuck, why am I not at that level yet? Maybe something's wrong with me, or maybe my business model is broken, or my niche is wrong. And it does very, very affect you. You start to make terrible decisions just to get like quick revenue increases. So that's the first thing I'd say, like avoid comparing yourself to your mates. Now, comparing yourself to mates is one story, but also comparing yourself to random people on the internet, that's the next story, okay? Because most of these people online, they're not making what they say they make, okay? Yeah, you see people with like Ferrari, not Ferrari, like Mercs, they like buy all these luxury cars, okay? Most of them are not making what they say they do, first of all. And second of all, mainly they're just on a fucking course. They're using that as attention to, drive traffic towards whatever their offer is, okay? So make sure you are very, very aware. And another thing as well is when they say how much they make, it's not actually how much they make, okay? Let's say they're making like 80K, let's say they make 80K, 100K a month. Tax, staff, softwares, ads, like they're probably profiting or only taking home about 10, they're probably taking it out as a wage, I reckon about 10, 20K a month. And then they got renting cars as well. So like, don't fall for that trap of comparing yourself to other people. And this is something I always used to have. I used to always look at people on social media. These guys are killing it. Okay, these guys have like fucking Ferraris and all this shit. Like, I was thinking about it the other day. I'm like, I could fucking rent this in a second. I could rent it in a second and just fucking flex it online. But like, it's a wrong type of. It doesn't have any benefit to my life. I've analyzed this. Okay, I've actually thought this through. I want to grow my company to $1 million a month. That's my only focus. I want all of my time and money to go into growing the company. Build something great. Like that's where the purpose comes from. When you start to buy all these like fucking luxury shit, like I learned this from Charlie Morgan, but he said there's your personal life and your business life, okay? You cannot have a complex professional or business life, because again, business is, your corporate and professional life is gonna be complex if you're running a business. You got stress, fucking everything's gonna go wrong. If that's complex, your personal life has to be simple, yin and yang. It can't be like both complex, okay? If you've got a business and you're trying to scale it to $1 million a month, and then you've got like all this complex personal life where you're buying stupid shit, you're buying Rolexes, you're buying Ferraris, you're not going to be able to scale at the same rate because you're going to need cash flow for new staff. You want the best staff. You're doing ads. You've got so much more expenses to get to $1 million a month. And if everything goes wrong, you need to know that you've got a safety net in place in your personal life to mitigate that risk. Now, if I had like 10 Ferraris, all this shit, and I was spending 50K a month just on or let's say 30K a month on my personal life, and then my business started going shit, I'd be out of business. Okay, so that's why you've got to be very, very careful of who you compare yourself to and what you compare, okay? Because most people, like, if you're getting jealous, like I used to always see on my social media feed, that's another topic as well, but you see people flexing all this shit, like it doesn't benefit you anyway. You don't want to compare yourself to them, because half the time, well, first of all, they actually could have a very, very successful, I'm not saying like, I'm not going to try and give them any like hate or anything. They've probably worked their asses off to get there. They get to a point, where they've got that, and now they've got like a status desire and they want to flex. That's fine. I'm not saying that, but you just want to avoid comparing yourself to them, because another reason is you don't know how much work they've actually done. Okay, they could promise you like 10K a month in 3 months. I'm telling you, that's not the case. It took me 6 months to land my first client, and I was making like I was making like 2K a month for the 6 months after that. Like, be very careful like what you actually compare yourself to, and just be wary that like you don't want to attach your identity towards money or an outcome. Okay, as we're making this video, last month we lost about 20 grand in monthly recurring revenue, and I'm not fussed. Okay, because I know it's just I know I'm going to hit all of my revenue goals. Okay, it's a matter of time. I've detached my emotions to failure. I don't think I'm a failure. I've just failed, and now it's like, all right, how can we improve for the next 6 months to never make this happen again? And that's the reality of business. But if I was like comparing myself to other people and thinking like, oh well, these people don't lose money, or business is easy. That's another thing you got to realize. Business is not easy. Okay, everything's going to go wrong all the time, and you're going to be able to just withstand it and go through that fire. But don't compare yourself to people who are going to be flexing online or claim they make a certain amount in like 6 months. Like, there's a one-off pony that could do that. But honestly, for me, when I first started my company 2 years ago, I was shocked at how much effort it actually took to get to where I am today. Like, I thought 3 months, 10K a month, or in 3 months, I'm gonna get a BMW. Like, don't even think about that. That first year in business, you're not gonna make as much as you rarely think, but the year after that is when it starts to compound. Like, as you know, like compounding starts low. Like, for me personally, what I can tell you from my experience is for the first year, I made no revenue. I think we made like 10K in our first year in business. And the year after that, everything started to scale up. So the more you learn, obviously it takes time to learn. Like, the first year, this is what Dad used to tell me, your first year is to learn, not earn. Okay? You don't want to be like trying to think about revenue, like making 20, 50K a month. It's all about how can I do the best job and provide value to a specific avatar. That's what you need to be thinking. And then the reason why I'm saying that is because I know you guys, if you guys are just starting a business or you want to start, don't compare yourself to other people, because you're going to try something for a month, you're not going to see 10K a month, and you're like, oh, this is too hard, or this business model is saturated. Like, no, you just need to work fucking harder, and you need to work longer. It takes a tremendous amount of hours. I was working like 12 hours a day, working at 4 a.m. to like 8 p.m. every day for the first year in business, and I was seeing no return. Like, no return, by the way. Like, and that's why I want to make sure that you guys just understand that. Like, do not fall for the trap of comparing yourself to other people and attaching your emotion and your identity towards an outcome, okay? Because it's not going to be healthy, and you're eventually going to just quit, okay? So hope this video was valuable. Any questions, let me know in the comments, and I'll see you guys in the next video.